Hello, this is Chris Kobe with the League of Women Voters of Portland, and you are watching the Video Voters Guide or listening to our podcast. We're here today to talk with candidates running in the November 8, 2022 general election. We're grateful for the support of the Carol and Velma Sailing Foundation, the League of Women Voters of Portland Education Fund, the Weiss Foundation, and our media partner, Metro East Community Media. With me today is Timothy LeMaster, running for the office of Oregon House of Representatives, District 43, which basically takes in inner Northeast Portland. Welcome, Timothy, and I have some questions for you. Let's start off with, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're running for this office?
Great. So my name is Tim LeMaster, retired Marine Corps. I live here in Northeast Portland as well, part of the requirements to run for office. I moved here, I retired out of the Marine Corps 9 years ago, traveled to Portland, the Northeast area, had friends and family and such that I'd met, and in my military life, people from the area. So vacation, stopped here during my retirement time in the beginning, and absolutely loved the people that I met over the summer and continued my travels. I settled here, then went to school, Portland Community College, used the community college to supplement with my GI Bill, getting a degree out of Colorado State University online school. And again, that was 9 years ago, and then bought my house here in the same neighborhood, basically in the same area 7 years ago. I born and raised in the middle of America, Colorado, essentially. My mom's single mother, raising me and my sister. She had myself when I was 16, my sister when she was 18. And for the most part, grew up as a single mom, or grew up with a single mother and such. And did my military life, 21 years, 22 years in the Marine Corps, retired here. And the time I've been here, honestly, for my whole life, because my mom traveled a lot, this is the longest in my entire life that I've lived in one place. Military bounced me around all the time. So in all honesty, the closest thing to being born and raised in one place, this actually here in Northeast Portland is it for me. And so running for office, just we've got a lot of problems in Portland. That's what I see. We've got the homeless issue, the homelessness, the crime is ramping up. Last year, something that jumped out to me on a social feed, a woman in my area was attacked in the middle of the daytime in her own backyard. And the politicians, the people that are supposed to be in charge, we've got lawlessness, and we've got problems in our neighborhood. We've got problems in our community, and the people that are in place now are not providing results. My military life, my Marine Corps way of living the last 22 years, it's about results. And we're not getting it with the batch of politicians that are in power now. And so I want to be a voice to try to bring some common sense and to honestly balance things out. We're sitting on 20 years, from I understand, 20-ish years of one party domination and one party decisions from state level down to our city and county level. And we need something different, and to include 4 years of supermajority. And yes, COVID is an issue, and that came in, but that was at the last 2 years of the supermajority issue. A lot of the problems we have, education, crime, homelessness, these were problems before COVID kicked in, and COVID certainly exacerbated that. At the time of COVID starting, our police situation became much worse. The defund police movement, our police ranks got thinned out, and we're genuinely dealing with lawlessness here in Portland. And in this community, I've met shop owners routinely talking about people come in and walk right out the door, stealing things, and the police never show up. And that's where we're at this point. So I'm hoping to be a voice that, we can balance things out and, do things a little different, maybe get some results.
Okay. You're listening to the Video Voters Guide interview and podcast of Timothy LeMaster, who is running for the office of Oregon House of Representatives, District 43. Turning to some of the issues in the fall election, Mr. LeMaster, one of them will be Measure 114, which concerns permits for guns and magazines for guns. Are you in favor or opposed to that? And what are your reasons for your position?
I am very much opposed to Measure 114. Um, I find it kind of incredulous, honestly, to at a time when we have record homicide, record crime in our area, compounded with really a record shortage of police, law enforcement, even our local sheriff. It's all thinned out, and so a couple layers to this issue is that we're living in a lawless situation, and this bill, one, it will potentially force the police or put the police in a position to give training in order for us to be able to defend ourselves. The police are not even able to take care of our community right now. There's no funding for this. We've got a 600 police shortage, and people really think that giving marksmanship, gun safety training as a requirement to them is reasonable. There's another aspect of it being that picking the age of 21 for gun ownership, a piece that I have an issue with that is, at what point do we decide that a child becomes an adult with all the rights, responsibilities, and accountability with that? There's a bigger issue to that. I mean, what is the concept behind the 21? Is it that they're not mature until they're 21? If you're not mature enough to own a gun at 21, why are you mature enough to make your own medical decisions? Why are you old enough to join the National Guard, etc.? And I think there's a bigger conversation in that respect. But a real fundamental piece is people have the right to defend themselves. They have the right to choose the means to defend themselves as adults. And we have rising violence, and we cannot rely on the police to protect us right now. And that's not hyperbole. The police are reactionary. Right now, the situations we're dealing with, they're not a proactive force helping to mitigate the crime and violence in our community.
Okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate you taking the time to answer some of the questions that are going to be up in the election and what we need to do here today. And you have been listening to a podcast interview and video voters guide of Timothy LeMaster, who is running for the Oregon House of Representatives, District 43. Election day is Tuesday, November 8th. Be sure to inform yourself about the candidates and exercise your right to vote. Thank you for your interest.